The recipes, views, and opinions expressed in this channel are solely those of the speaker. They do not reflect, collaborate, or substitute the views and opinions of a medical health professional. Please consult a professional with any dietary concerns and inquiries prior to trying the recipes. Welcome to the channel.
I'm cooking with Namia. I'm cooking with Namia. Among away. Let me stop. Hey guys, thank you for clicking on this video to get, drum roll please, the mung bean stew. Thank you. You are so kind. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. The goal of this channel is to provide meals that are nutritious and satisfying without breaking your calorie banks or sacrificing on flavor. This dish is extremely low in carbs, high in fiber, which is an important component for digestions. It has vitamin A, which is great for your skin and your nails. It also has calcium and, surprisingly, a good source of protein. I don't know why I am saying surprisingly, because it's a legume. Of course they have protein, but when you look at the bean, it does not look like much. In the recipe itself, I have one spice that is Old Wisdom, and as you already know, Old Wisdom never fails to deliver. We will be talking about that spice shortly. So let's jump into the dish. So to start us off, you will be needing about a cup of your green mung beans. Typically, you do not need to soak the mung beans overnight like most other legumes you would be doing. It only needs about 2 to 3 hours of hydration. So for me, I will do this first thing in the morning. First step is to sift through the beans to remove any impurities and any stones that might be in it. The next step is to actually wash the bean. Now it looks clean, but it's really not clean. So when you are going through the washing process, make sure you are vigorously rubbing the beans against each other. You will notice a white film of water that a white film that comes on the very top. It's not skin. I do not know what it is, but for some reason it has some kind of coating. Make sure all that is cleaned out and the water is completely clean. Once you have that cleaned out, add about 6 cups of water into the beans with salt. So I usually use sea salt to season my food, but whatever salt you have will work. And then place that on the stove, and we're going to let the beans cook. We are cooking to ensure that it has cooked through as best as possible before we actually get to cooking it. Of course, you will be checking on this as we go, and if it is not cooked, add water as needed. How you know it's cooked is if you mush it on your finger and it just crumbles through it, then it's cooked. Or you can sometimes use your spoon and kind of press it against the pot. You will know at that point it's cooked. But for now, let's let the beans cook. And while the beans are cooking, let me introduce you to the spice I mentioned earlier. So, can we take a moment to give this old spice, namely turmeric, however you say it, a round of applause? Seriously. This is an immensely powerful spice. Its antioxidant properties have been linked to medical ailments like heart disease, eye condition, Alzheimer's, the big C, and a list of other ailments, right? I encourage you to do research on it. It will amaze you at how many benefits this spice has. It is a beast of spices. I actually call it one of my 3 kings. I have 3 spices that I continuously put in my dishes, and this is one of them that never fails to make a dish. So how old is it? Why do I call it Old Wisdom? Well, it was used over 4,000 years ago Yeah, 4,000 years ago. It was found in India during a period known as Vedic culture. So for those history buffs, this is around the time of Pharaoh Khufra. So when the pyramids were starting to evolve into what they are now, this is how ancient this spice is. So it moved from India, went to China, then to East Africa, then to West Africa, and then around the 18th century it reached Jamaica. And from Jamaica, then it exploded to the rest of the world. And that's pretty much how it transitioned. You can thank the spice trade for how that worked out. So what was it used for back then? You may want to ask, or if you are curious. So the fumes of the turmeric were used to help with digestive or troubles, or alleviate anything that was linked to indigestion, right? The juice of the turmeric was used to heal wounds and bruises, and then they would make it into a paste and use it like a topical ointment for skin conditions like chickenpox, smallpox, shingles, and other skin blemishes that they had back then. So the versatility of it, right? From fumes to juice to paste and then to a dish itself, you can't beat that. That's the reason I crown a king, right? And today it is used in like skin lightening products and other cosmetic uses. It's of course used in meals, and there has been a group of people who have become such fanatics for it. I don't know if this is an old tradition or it's one of those superfood crazes that came along, but they ingest it in milk. So it's called the golden milk. Yeah, so yeah, no, that golden milk thing is really not happening for me. The taste is not business. I've tried it, and the earthiness and the strongness of turmeric just does not work. So I would much rather cook it than actually drink it, but more power to those who actually do it. I would be right there rooting for you, but I already know the gag reflexes, and that's not going to work. So you're on your own on that one. But you'll definitely find it in a lot of my dishes, so stay tuned for the recipes that will be coming through on this channel. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my plug about turmeric, however you say it. So let's get back to the dish. So once your beans have been cooked, you can turn off your heat. So basically you're going to wait until all the water is gone. Turn off your heat, and we're going to start the process of prepping the base ingredients to be able to cook it. So first things first, you're going to be chopping onions. And then the next thing you're going to do is chop some tomatoes. And once those two are done, we're going to go ahead and grab a Dutch oven or cooking pot. I am a fan of Dutch ovens. You will see a lot of Dutch ovens in here. I invest in a Dutch oven. One, it is burn proof. If you're one of those people who tends to burn your food, I would highly recommend getting a Dutch oven. But if you do not have one, definitely go ahead and get a cooking pot. But I love using Dutch ovens. But place your Dutch oven or your cooking pot on the stove on medium heat. Then you're going to go ahead and add some raw olive oil. I use Moroccan olive oil. It is robust. It has much more nutrients. It's very unfiltered, so it has not gone through too much processing. And I like oils that are kind of more from the land to the table type things. So I use this one, and you can definitely get it on Amazon if you would like. Then you're going to go ahead and add in your onions into the olive oil until they turn a bit translucent. You'll also be adding some garlic into that. And once you have that brownness going, you're going to go ahead and add some cumin. You're going to add the turmeric. And then you're going to add your ginger. And you're going to be cooking that, and the idea is to get that earthiness out of it. Next, you're going to add your chopped tomatoes. So the idea of cooking the chopped tomatoes is to kind of sweat it out until it gets to a very paste-like consistency. And once that has got to the paste-like consistency, then you're going to go ahead and add your mung beans. And in your mung beans, you're going to be adding some water. So typically about 3 cups of water would work. But if you level it out with the mung beans, because they're already cooked, all you're doing is waiting for it to boil. And definitely taste it for flavor to make sure that it has the right flavoring as you desire. I tend to add a bit salt because the next step that I usually take does require adding a bit of salt, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. And then the other spice that I do add is hinge. I have mentioned asafoetida before. I go by the name of hinge because I cannot say the word of it, but definitely add that in. It will help with gas and bloating effects that come with eating raw, vegetables and beans. And at this point, if you want to eat it in this state, it is done. As long as it's boiled, you're good to go. But for me, I'm going to be taking the next step. And basically what you're looking for when you're saying it's done is that chalk-like green brown consistency, and it's kind of thickish in a way. That's how you know it's done. So into this, I go ahead and add spinach because I tend to look for vegetables that are high in iron. So I'll add my spinach into it. I'll wait for it to wilt. So I'm not doing much other than waiting for it to wilt. And once it's done, I will turn off the heat. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the mung bean stew. It is a very simple recipe to be cooking, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching the entire video. Please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I post new recipes on YouTube. Please be sure to sign up on my website, imcookingwithnamia.com, for full recipe details. You can also purchase this downloadable recipe card on my website, along with any other of my favorite recipes on my channel. So I will see you on the next video.